Hey everybody, as you know, Julie and I, we've been traveling the world with our two dogs for 2.5 years, and we run across a lot of expats, nomads, and occasionally we find some that might be a little lonely, a little blue, feeling like their purpose is not there. So before you jump out and become an expat or a nomad, we're going to talk a little bit about things you might want to do to make sure you feel fulfilled and that your life is as pleasant as you want it to be. So before we get into the conversation topic here, I want to make sure that you all know that Julie has worked really hard at putting together WarrenJulieTravel.com, our new website. So please check it out. There you can find some information on some of our favorite things to buy under our Amazon store. You can get medical insurance, find some of our favorite ways to save money. So let's talk about what we're talking about. Basically, nomad expat loneliness and cures and solutions. And
Yep.
So I guess first off, something somebody asked me before I retired was, Warren, you're too young to retire. What are you going to do with your time? And I'm thankful that they asked that question, because what I ended up doing was this. I started a YouTube channel. This gives me a purpose, a reason to get up, go out. So I'm just not like, hey, we're in Belgium, what's on Netflix? Or we're in Slovenia, what's on Netflix? I've got a reason to get out and explore, because as you slow travel, you don't have to do something every day, but this gives me deadlines, things to do.
Yes, and some of us are introverts.
And I guess Julie's trying to imply I'm an extrovert.
And some of us are married to extroverts.
Yeah, so if you're an extrovert, I think being an expat or a nomad is much easier. You're more willing to go out on a limb, talk to people you don't know, and just interject yourself into what's happening. Now, conversely, I want to say I think introverts are able to adapt a bit to not being as lonely too, because
right, the quiet life. We can be happy watching Netflix or walking on the beach or walking and hiking and quietly just enjoying nature.
Well, we've got a friend of ours who is traveling around by car through the Bulgarian option that we've explained to you guys in the past, that he went to Bulgaria, got his car. He's a bird guy, and he likes to go out into nature and look at birds and does his blog about birds. And so he's content with being alone. But for many people that are in that middle range, you are neither an extrovert or you're neither an introvert, but you're looking for social interaction. You may find yourself lacking that purpose or that social interaction, and if you don't have a purpose in your daily routine, you might feel as though something's out of whack in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about expat communities. So we're in Fethiye in Turkey. This is a large British expat location. Over 5,000 year-round British are here. If you just showed up in Fethiye, you may or may not make friends easily. Oftentimes expats are going to go out of their way to be able to interact with you if they know you're looking for friendship, and they're going to be willing to show you things that they know and go do things with you.
Right.
But how do you find them? Well, you can go find an expat bar and maybe hang out there, but one of the easiest ways is to get on social media. There are tons of Facebook groups for locations all around the world. So if you were to come here to Fethiye Turkey, for example, there's a half dozen great expat Facebook groups. So if you're one of these anti-social media people, but you want to be an expat and a nomad, you may be missing out on opportunities to find out about get-togethers and things going on. Sometimes there's hiking groups, there's groups that go out and do exploration. Sometimes they're just out there to drink beer and play cards together. You also have things like hash house harriers out there. There are a lot of beer drinkers that like to do running and jogging. So if you're an anti-social media person, which I know there's quite a few of them out there, set yourself up an account just for the sole purpose of getting onto the social media platform to be parts of these groups and to get to know some of the expats in the communities. Now, we seem to make a lot of friends in a lot of places because we're members of, gosh, how many of these groups?
A lot. At last count, 89 throughout Europe and Ecuador. I'm sorry, so Ecuador as well.
Yeah, and we tend to make friends also through our video. Sometimes you guys will send us an email or a message. Hey,
and we love that.
Yeah, it's a highlight of our travels when we get together with people that want to get to know us, and we want to get to know you. So don't be afraid to reach out to us. That's a big bonus in our lives.
Yes, it is. We enjoy having a coffee with new friends, and we have found that we meet the most diverse people in the world. It is amazing. You know, you find out they've been to 100 countries, or maybe this is their first country they ever left the United States to go to, which those are fun.
Yeah, we've got a very eclectic, diverse group of friends that we have met through our travels, but we occasionally run across the people that are blue. They're nomads or they're expats, and they just don't feel like they're making it happen. We have a dear friend that moved to Montenegro, for example, which to us, it's so easy to make friends in Montenegro. There's so many good Facebook groups to go out and do things, but if you're not on that social media and you sit your home away from everybody else and you think that you're just going to somehow miraculously make friends, it's going to be difficult. People in the local communities have a life. So if you're trying to think, hey, I'm just going to make friends with locals, they've got their family, they've got their jobs, they've got things going on, and they don't have time for some stranger from a strange land to occupy their day. But if you're looking for that person to occupy your day, it's easiest, and the easiest way is going into these social media groups.
Yes, definitely. And if you're lonely and you just need some companionship, and you're actually going to be in one location or one set of locations, consider adopting a pet. Yes, there are ways to take that pet around, and I would say consider adopting a pet if you need some cuddles and loves.
Yeah, our pets take up a lot of our time, and they've introduced us to people.
My goodness, Aria has made us a dozen friends, and
maybe a few enemies.
Dog parks are an amazing place to visit, and for people to just connect, because what do we have in common? We love our dogs.
Yeah. We've met a few people on the streets because Aria decided that she approved of their pet. So, but we want you to think about also hobbies. You know, when you're going to leave your full-time job, you're used to having a routine. I'm not afraid of competition. Actually, I don't think of anybody out there that wants to start a YouTube channel as competition. I welcome it, and anything I can do to help, by all means, via collaboration or whatever. I would welcome somebody else out there finding information to share. And the reason we do our channel is there's not a lot of people out there doing what we do. No. And we would love to have other people share their life and their information. So I don't care if you think, I'm going to copy Warren and Julie, I don't want to be the same as them. Who cares? Do what you want to do. If you can find purpose like I did through doing the YouTube channel, and Julie is now doing her website and is going to start doing some vlogging. Do some vlogs, and if nobody watches, who cares? First, maybe you'll only get 10 people watching your video, and some family and friends. Maybe it will go nowhere. And
that was what we thought ours would be.
Yeah, we had no expectations, but it was just something to start as a hobby. And sometimes it's a hobby. I want to sometimes throw my computer into the
Aegean?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, when you do a hobby and you like to gauge yourself on success and failure, and as we're nomads, our success and failure is kind of like a roller coaster depending on where we're going. Some of our videos will get 50,000 people looking at it, and some over the last few weeks, months have been getting like 1,000 views, which for me is not great. And sometimes I take that a little bit to heart, but I guess it's almost like having a job. Sometimes you have your good days, your bad days, and you just kind of roll with it and wait for the better day to come. So don't get discouraged if you start a hobby and you're not seeing the success. And even when you start your hobby, if you're not getting consistent success, just keep trucking along and find your place. maybe you want to work part-time from afar as well.
Yes. And, I've been trying to learn how to create a website, which is actually quite challenging in my opinion. And there are so many tutorials out there to do just that. And, let's say that web design. You can get out there and do a tutorial. Maybe you'll only have 1,000 people that watch it, but it gives you something to do. As he said, gives you purpose every day. Get up, enjoy the day, and find a hobby. That's the one thing we would say, is find a hobby, but also connect on social media, because as he said, Facebook groups have everything. If you love to hike, look for a hiking group. For example, Montenegro has 3 hiking groups. You could stay pretty busy just in those areas alone. If you like to shop, I'm sure there are like-minded people who love to shop and would love to go shopping and see different things. If you love to eat, there are many people who love to eat. Enjoy some new cafe that just opened up. There are so many things you can consider, but social media definitely is our number one outlet to find these things to do.
Well, these social media places will also tell you, hey, let's have a group cookout, barbecue, let's have a meetup over here. And so you go, and there might be 13, 15, 20 people there. We had a great little meetup in Sibiu, Romania with a group of people. If you want to find out about dart leagues, and like I'm here in Fethiye the other night, went out to watch a group play darts in their bar with another bar that was coming over. And there's like 17 of these bars here full of Brits that are doing this dart pool league thing. You have people that are willing to reach out or to be part of your life.
Well, and another thing that you really should consider is co-working spaces. When we were in Bansko, Bulgaria, for example, we thought co-working spaces were for people, digital nomads in particular, that actually need a place with high-speed internet. And in reality, some of these actually aren't even there for working. They're there to socialize. And maybe a little work here and there, but a co-working space, maybe you only do a part-time one where you go twice in a week. Some of these are really fantastic, and the programs aren't that expensive.
Yeah, they build social circles. So like co-working Bansko, I'm going to think that people sign up to be able to do some work there, but probably 70% of it is about meeting like-minded people in that group of digital nomads. So if you're a digital nomad, that's a great place to get to know other digital nomads. But it doesn't matter if you're 22 years old or 80 years old. Mm-hmm. You can find like-minded people that are willing to have experiences with you through social media, or whether you're going to a co-working place. But sometimes you get lucky. You could just be laying on the beach, and a lot of times you might want to fill your whole day laying on the beach. But you might get lucky and meet some people on the beach, or you might get lucky and meet some people at a bar to hang out, and that will be your lifelong friends. But if you want to kind of jumpstart it and even get going before you show up and hit the ground, get on social media. You might find people that are ready to meet you from day one.
We also have friends who say that hostels, even as older people, they love hostels because they find people that love to travel, and they're there, and oftentimes they've made a friend just in one night. Mm-hmm. There are just so many ways to meet people, especially nowadays with social media.
And if you're going to be an expat sitting your butt down in one country, consider learning the language, doing some study, going to an on-site class where you meet other students as well, so that you're getting to engage with people. Online's great, but if you're actually able to go sit down and meet the other people trying to learn the language, that's helpful. So we hope that we've been able to explain some of the things you might not have been thinking about before you hit the road as an expat or nomad, and that we've given you some ideas to look into and some solutions so that you're ready to embark on your travel and your adventure. So we hope that you're going to subscribe, give our video a like, and until next time, have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Ciao.